All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Yahweh been the true name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai been the true name of his only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I also want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessing and salutation unto the elect of Yasha Allah, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And blessing and salutation unto the hopeful elect. I keep out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, teaching and preaching, and then through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in truth and sincerity, as well as the men and women that follow, and those who might look like the other nation, but are of the nation of Israel on their father's side by blood. This the brother Azaria, and I got the brother
You call him up.
with me, and we're gonna be doing a lesson today. So I don't know the title, maybe the bride to be, thinking about that as a title, but dealing with us not being under the law but being under grace, and within not being under that law, an old marriage unto a new marriage for the most part. All right, so we have Romans 7:1. It says, "Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth." Because when you read in the book of Romans, all right, as well as throughout various other books and chapters in the New Testament, we have to consider that the problem that they was having was the Gentiles coming in versus the Jews who had been there. The Jews knew their customs, they knew their manners, they knew the law, they knew the way of life that the Lord intended for us to have. Versus the Gentiles, well, the problem that they had with the Gentiles was that they was keeping the ways of the heathen, right? That was the big things, and what plays a huge part within that is history, okay? Like one of the precepts we'll get in Jeremiah the 3rd chapter, it says that Judah and Israel went and played the harlot, all right? Went and did fornication, spiritual fornication, okay? Like I said, the bride to be, because at the end of the day, the nation of Israel is as a bride and seen as a delicate woman in the eyes of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So that husband, we are to be, oh, that's a precept I just thought of too. We supposed to be a chaste virgin. Okay, become a chaste virgin to be prepared, all right, i.e. also being betrothed to that perfect husband. Okay, just like the scriptures when you read about, okay, when our forefathers had wives, those wives were submitted unto their husband, as we ought to be submitted unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, so I'm going to read this again. It says, Romans 7:1, "Know ye not, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth." All right, so we're going to go over here to Romans 6 in a nice little read. It says, "For if we," Romans 6:5, "For if we have been planted together in the likeness of his death, we shall be also in the likeness of his resurrection. Knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. For he that is dead is freed from sin." Because that's what you got to understand. Yes, we were married unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai through that old covenant, through the law. All right, but through that law, we wasn't able to keep it right. Okay, it's just as relationships today, marriages ain't what they used to be. All right, I like to call it play boyfriend and girlfriend pretty much, because The man is not doing 100% his job, and the woman is not doing 100% his job. All right, and that's for those who, are not in the know for the most part. Okay, and then when it comes down to the ones who know the truth, we're rehearsing the righteous acts. We're doing things to our best ability. We're still in this flesh. That's what keeps us from being perfect, is being in this flesh. All right, and that's what Paul speaks about a lot in the book of Romans is the flesh versus the spirit, the law versus faith. All right, it says verse 8, now if we be dead with Hamashiach, we believe that we also live with him. Well, we believe that we shall also live with him, knowing that Hamashiach being raised from the dead dieth no more, death hath no more dominion over him. Why? Because that came by sin. All right, that is even the Lord. He wasn't perfect up until he was resurrected. All right, he had to be born again. He was reincarnated, brought back into that flesh, and then he was made perfect and received his glory. All right, and he's waiting for his wife to be. He's waiting for us to be presented to him as a chaste virgin, as a nation. Okay, it says, for in that he died unto sin once, but in that he liveth unto the Most High. Likewise reckon ye also yourselves to be dead indeed unto sin, but alive unto the Most High through Yahushua HaMashiach our Lord. So like as it said, as long as you live it, you have the dominion over you of the law. Well, we died to the world. We died to our old selves. We died unto the law. What? So that we can live through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Okay? That's why 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 15 speaks about the natural man and the spiritual man. Okay? The natural man can't receive those things because they're thinking too much about how things used to be, or the technicalities of things, opposed to how things are deemed through the spirit in these times. How we're not under the law, but we're under grace. But us being under grace, we still keep the law to our best ability, but we're not saved by the law. We're saved by faith through grace, which is a gift, which it truly is. It'll be very hard to try to keep, if we couldn't keep the law, if we couldn't keep the law in past times, because we was in the flesh, because of temptation, because of being around heathen and being around other nations and following after their ways, let alone now. All right, remember, this earth and this heaven is reserved unto fire. That's the second reset button. It's the second death, as the scriptures speak about, because the first death was what? The flood. All right, the Lord had to bring in a reset button because the world got too out of hand. Well, it's really out of hand now. All right, predominantly dealing within America. Okay, because remember, this is that harlot that all of the nations fornicate with. Okay, and most men, when they get a woman, what as the scriptures say, when you get a wife, you gotta care about the things of the world. So these other nations mingle with America, fornicate with America. All right, but through prophecy, we understand and know that it's only going to last for so long. All right, but that's a little another subject. But nonetheless, our people who haven't been able to do a good job in the past, we're going to be able to do a perfect job in the end times. No, the Lord had a remnant. All right, there's a blessing within that cluster of grapes, and that's who the Lord see no guile within. All right, who he has not imputed imputed sin. All right, yeah, the ones who he have chosen do sin. Okay, but in the process they'll be acquitted. because they was predestined to be acquitted. All right, we just don't know who those people are, but that's why we're rehearsing the righteous acts. That's why we're under grace. Okay, that's why the Lord is calling many, but few is going to be chosen. Okay, so dealing with the second part of it, it says, for the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. For if that husband be dead, she is loosened from the law of her husband. Okay, so then if while her husband liveth she be married to another man, she called Salakia. So then if while her husband liveth she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from the law, so that she is no adulteress, through though she be married to another. All right, so there we go. So while your husband liveth, you're bound to that law. If you marry another, you've committed adultery. You should be called adulteress. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 6. It says, Yahweh, the Most High, said also unto me in the days of Josiah the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel hath done? She is gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there hath played the harlot. How does she play the harlot? What is they doing? How does she play the harlot? How did we play the harlot as a nation? We went up to every mountain, to every green tree. Well, that's where you read about the groves, okay? And you see, I understand you getting off work, but you can come on, man. I know you see the headlights. We went and served these idols, all right, engraven images. All right, we followed after the customs of the heathen. But remember, we was married unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Well, we broke that covenant, all right, by serving these other gods, man. Okay? So that's how we committed adultery. All right? Going back into Romans the 7th chapter and verse 3, it says, so then if while her husband liveth she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. That's how we was called an adulteress. That's because we was spiritually married to these dumb idols. We was spiritually married to these graven images. The Lord set up a way for us to live, all right, just as do a covenant of marriage, all right, just as a marriage do. It brings you together. This you have your duties and you have your duties. All right, the wife submitted unto the man, and the man leads, protects, and provides. Pretty much. So going back into Jeremiah 3, it says, verse 7, and I said after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me, but she returned not. And her treacherous sister Judah saw it. And I saw, when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce, because that's within a marriage. And you read in Deuteronomy, the 21st or the 22nd chapter, it speaks about a husband giving a woman well, can we get that? Just put in divorcement. It should be Genesis 21 or 22. I mean, Deuteronomy 21 or 22. Bill of divorcement. Or 24.
24 1. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 1. When a man have taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he hath found some uncleanness in her, then let him write her a bill of divorcement and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house.
And there we go. So that's the uncleanness that the Lord had found within us, was we committed adultery by serving these other gods, all right? By worshiping these idols, by being like the nations, by breaking our covenant, by not keeping our end of the bargain, all right? Going back to Exodus, the 24th chapter, making that a covenant by blood, okay? Well, so is marriage, because you would have a virgin, right? And you would, pop her, and through that blood, oh, she's a virgin. All right, based off of how the sheets would look, based off of the virgin cherry being popped, for lack of better words. Okay, well, that's a covenant by blood, because we're not going to get it, but within the law, if she don't have that, then if you don't see that blood, then she's not a virgin. Okay, then it's a whole process dealing within that. All right, Jeremiah 3:9. Yep, this is the last one. And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. There you go, those idols. All right. Verse 10, and yet for all this, her treacherous sister Judah hath not turned unto me with her whole heart, but feignedly, saith the Lord. And the Lord said unto me, the backsliding Israel hath justified herself more than treacherous Judah. So what happened is the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom went and did the same thing, went and committed adultery. All right, because remember, it was more so on the northern side. Ephraim let Ephraim alone, is given unto dumb idols. All right, remember they was worshiping idols more, and you had Judah, Benjamin, and Levi predominantly, which was, more so the house of David, all right, keeping the traditions, keeping the law. Now you see that split that happened then was pretty much the same split between the Jews and the Greeks, ones who knew and was keeping the ways, and ones who knew not and was keeping the ways of the heathen, all right? And that's why we had to come under grace. All right. So this is Romans 7:4. Yep. It says, wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Hamashiach, because he sacrificed himself, that you should be married to another, right? Even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit unto the Most High. Him being raised from the dead, he's become a new creature. All right. Once he was resurrected, he was made perfect. Okay. He took upon our sins and sacrificed himself. All right. You can read in Hebrews, I think it's 7, 8, 9, 10, about how, things that were before was given as a shadow for things to come. Okay. How we was going to enter into a better covenant. A covenant has to be submitted or committed by blood. All right, there need a testator, the blood of bulls and rams, and it wasn't enough. All right, because the Lord, he perfected all of that. All right, that's why we don't have to sacrifice animals to this day, because the Lord was the ultimate sacrifice. All right, that we may be under grace. Okay.
If I may.
Let me finish these last two. Verse 5, it says, for when we were in the flesh, the motions of sins, which were by the law, did work in our members to bring forth fruit unto death. So that's because we was living unto the flesh, providing for the flesh, the lust of the flesh. The scriptures say, I believe in 13 or 14, Romans as well, give no provisions for the flesh, because we supposed to be spiritually minded. All right. Walking in the spirit, that we can live by the spirit, according to the spirit. Okay. But keeping yourself under the law, saying that we're saved by law, you're then living unto the flesh, which you can read within the first 8 chapters of Romans, is speaking about that heavily. All right. It says, but now we are delivered from the law, that being dead wherein we were held, because we was within that flesh, we had the law. This is the way to be saved. This is the way to be righteous. All right. That we should serve in newness of spirit and not in the oldness of the letter. Okay. So that's why through the Spirit, I wanted to title this The Bride to Be, because as the Lord had to go through a process of perfection, we are now going through the same process of being perfected. You still got what you wanted out?
I still got it. You kind of made the point, but I'll bring it out. Then said Galatians 3 and verse 24, to land back off of the brother, it says, wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us.
Beautiful. And it's crazy, bro, because I just read the book of Galatians through the Spirit. I just hopped over there. Mm-hmm. So that's beautiful. Because that's like a continuance of Romans. I mean, that's why I said it's in various books of what was going on, or what the point that Paul was trying to drive home through the Spirit. Because remember, he was sent unto the Gentiles. The Lord taught him and gave him the truth and sent him unto the Gentiles. So he's the mediator, for lack of better words, from the Gentiles coming back in, from them coming to the truth. So he's explaining it. Once lived that life, being a Roman citizen, and he knew both parts pretty much. All right? Go ahead, bro.
It says, wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Hamashiach, that we might be justified by faith. But after that faith is come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster.
Mm-hmm. Which read that again, Bible Kushai.
It says, Galatians 3 verse 24, wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Hamashiach.
Yeah, that's the main part. That was to bring us unto Hamashiach, right? And as it is now, for the most part, because us having the law, because we didn't grow up keeping this law in this society, but we have it to keep it to our best abilities, that we can, learn the righteous acts. It's still somewhat of a schoolmaster unto us, but it's there to bring us to Yahweh Shai, man. Go ahead.
It says that we might be justified by faith.
Mm-hmm. That we might be justified by faith, because that's what it's about now. Okay, but faith without works is dead. You need one and the same, but it's not like, oh, well, you kept 300 of the laws, so here you go, here's salvation. It's by faith. When the Lord came on the scene and he was healing people, what did he say? By your faith ye have been healed. He didn't say since you kept this many laws you've been healed, because that was the whole point of him coming, is to be a stumbling block unto the nation of Israel. All right. What does it say? The Christian's favorite, John 3:16. Yeah. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whomsoever shall believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Because you got to believe in him. You got to have faith in him. Mm-hmm. All right. That's what it was. The law brought us to the Lord. Okay. It brought us unto the faith. It brought us unto grace. All right. Go ahead.
But after that faith has come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster.
We are no longer under a schoolmaster. Just said the schoolmaster was the law. Go ahead.
For ye are all the children of the Most High by faith in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. For as many of you as have been baptized in Hamashiach have put on Hamashiach.
Yeah, so if you ain't been baptized, you ain't put on the Hamashiach. All right, can you go up a little bit before that part? It was a point hidden.
Before the last part I read?
Yep. You can just read that last verse.
This is verse 27. It says, for as many of you as have been baptized.
Galatians 3 and 27? Okay.
Galatians 3:27, for as many of you as have been baptized into Hamashiach have put on Hamashiach.
Go up one more before that.
Verse 26, for ye are all the children of the Most High by faith in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai.
There you go. For ye are all the children of the Most High by faith. All right? Because that's what it comes down to. Because when you also read in Galatians, it might be the next chapter, and it speaks about the law, about the bond woman and the free woman. The bond woman, which represented Hagar, and the free woman, which represented Sarah. Okay? And it said through the free woman was the promise given. So if you're keeping yourself under the bondage of the bondwoman, you're keeping yourself under the flesh, under the sin, and not according to the spirit, which makes you not a child credible of the inheritance. All right? So you good on that?
Con.
Okay, Con. This is 2 Corinthians 11:1. It says, would to the Most High ye could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me, for I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband, right? That I may present you as a chaste virgin to Hamashiach, the bride to be. I'm going to read it in the NLT. It says, 2 Corinthians 11:1, I hope you will put up with a little more of my foolishness. Please bear with me. For I am jealous for you with the jealousy of the Most High himself. I promise you as a pure bride to one husband, Hamashiach, the bride to be. We're betrothed to Yahushua. Okay? In his perfection. So in order for us, it's just like in the old days. The parents would raise up would raise a woman and teach her ways to submit, to provide, for her husband, to be there for her husband. All right. Just as we are learning the ways to provide and submit to our husband, which is Yahushua. Okay. Can you grab Revelations 21?
It's from the top.
Yeah.
Revelation chapter 21 and verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
Yeah, this society. The ways of this society. All right? This dominion. Esau's dominion. Even the way that they keep marriage. All right? The way that they sustain life. The food that they give. The air that they all of that was done away with. A new heaven and a new earth was coming down. Go ahead.
And there was no more sea.
Yep.
And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Because what? This is the elect. This is the one that was saved, starting off this new society. All right? Kicking off this new world order. This government that's supposed to be in rule, being joint heirs with Yahushua, being married, all right, unto him, being that bride to be in perfection. Now, learning our ways to submit, okay? Now, the ultimate submission is going to be through salvation and through getting new bodies. Then we're going to be made perfect because the law is going to be written within our inward part. That's why the Lord ain't had to come back in 2,000 years. He was perfect. It's time for him to live forever. He don't have to come back down in the flesh and die once again. He said he's not going to meet them as a man. Yeah. All right, he's coming back in his glory, full of power. Okay, cracking them clouds, man, and I can't wait. Man, it's going to be a beautiful day. All right? It's going to be a beautiful day. Wish we had the brother Karate here because he had went a little bit into the manners and customs of marriage, how, the marriage will be known days before, weeks before, months before, possibly even years if I'm not mistaken. And that's what we hear and read about a marriage. Well, now we understand what that marriage consists of. It consists of the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai being made perfect to be adorned, all right, to one husband as a chaste virgin, okay, and being which is the bride to be, man. So with that, Lord willing, you was edified, and Lord willing, we allowed to endure into the end. And once again, I want to give all praises. We want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kodash. Shalom.